What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. We are just a day away from the start of the DCU, you guys, with Creature Commandos for DC Studios. I am so excited to check out the first two episodes. I will be covering every episode that it drops, you guys. I cannot wait for what James Gunn has cooking for his start of his brand new universe. Speaking of universes, you guys, let's jump into it. So the CW DC world is officially done, ending with Superman and Lois this week, you guys, the finale. A lot of heartfelt moments. I watched some clips, and I honestly thought, just from the clips I saw, I thought it was really, really good. Like, I've seen a couple of episodes of Superman and Lois. I haven't seen all the episodes. I've just seen a couple. I know I started it like a month or so back, but I just never got to finishing it. But I honestly was really impressed with what I saw. I was like, okay, I definitely got to finish the show. And especially after watching this, some clips from the finale, I was like, okay, absolutely. But how wild is that? It's finally over, dating back to 2001, October 16th, starting with Smallville. That is wild to me. And Smallville ran, 10 seasons? Over 200 episodes? Smallville was the birth to the entire CW DC universe. I mean, without Smallville, you guys, we wouldn't have some of the shows that so many people love, from the CW. Now, I stopped watching the shows. Like, I watched a little bit of The Flash, but like everything else, like Arrow, Black Lightning, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, I never really got into all that stuff. But Smallville was pivotal and so important to my earlier childhood. That show really did so much for the comic book genre of that being television. I mean, still to this day, you guys, it holds up so well. I listen to Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, the Talkville podcast, where they go over each episode, in every season. And it's just a delight hearing them, talk about their experiences and, each and every single episode. It's so intriguing to see, what kind of guests they get on, each episode. I absolutely love and adore. If you guys haven't checked out the Talkville podcast, I highly suggest you guys check it out, especially if you're a diehard Smallville fan like myself, you guys. But that's it. It's done. Now James Gunn can solely focus on his universe streaming on Max. Now, I think this is a good idea. You don't want multiple universes going in at once, but then he kind of does have multiple universes going in at once with the Matt Reeves Batman universe. So it can get a little bit complicated, but now this is him consolidating, make it much smaller so they can solely focus on David Cornsweet's Superman moving forward. I know, the CW stuff has its small fandom. There's, a lot of people love that. A lot of people love The Flash. A lot of people love, Superman and Lois. I'm not saying that those shows aren't good, but, it never really pulled me in like I really wanted it to, Maybe that's because, for like the comic book genre of that, being television, because CW is a little bit on the side of the smaller budget show. So things kind of look a little bit, corny. Now, I'm not saying Smallville, there weren't moments in Smallville where, it wasn't corny. Absolutely did have its corny moments, the low budget stuff, but that was in the early 2000s. Think about it, that was in 2001. So, when he first got his heat vision, I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But it's wild to me. Let me know what you guys think about, the CW DC world officially ending. And what was your favorite show on the CW or WB at the time, you guys? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But moving on to the next topic, you guys, we got to talk about some Johnny Depp. Now, Pirates of the Caribbean. Apparently, there is a script that has Johnny Depp's name attached to it. But Disney hasn't yet reached out to Johnny Depp. This is interesting to me on multiple reasons. The fact that they fired him because of these allegations. So why would Johnny Depp want to return to the Pirates of the Caribbean world? Obviously, he's going to get a big payday, right? And as a whole, the franchise is an extremely fun franchise. And Johnny Depp has been the face of the franchise forever. Like, I know there was rumors about how they were, going to do the whole Margot Robbie, Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. And I was like, oh, God, no, you just can't. Johnny Depp, when you say Pirates of the Caribbean, you instantly think of Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp. So the fact that they were even considering trying to do, a remake or a retelling of the story without him feels so weird to me. Because you go to Disneyland, you go to Disney World, you go to Pirates of the Caribbean ride, it's Johnny Depp. And with the whole Amber Heard situation, you guys, and how, he was found not guilty, this leaves Disney in a weird space. Even if they do decide to reach out to him and, reconcile and, offer him, a 3 to 4 picture deal to have him come back, that would be awesome. Because I would love to see Johnny Depp back. And I would love to see Johnny Depp, get some more work. Especially because he was found innocent. Innocent until proven guilty. But I also get where Disney's coming from. You are such an image and you are such a brand. So when everything was coming out at the time, you kind of had to part ways with him because of your image, your brand. It's Disney. It's a child's brand. So I get it. But I also am a big believer of innocent until proven guilty. And he was found innocent, you guys. I will never forget that trial. Me and my wife, our eyes were just glued to the screen. Whenever we got off work, we watched the trial together. It was so crazy. It was absolutely wild. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I just hope that the script is good. It's fun, and Disney can go back to being Disney, making the millions upon billions of dollars with the Pirate franchise. Because honestly, the Pirate franchise has made, over $4 billion? I mean, granted, they probably only had 2 films that made over $1 billion, but it's still a very successful franchise at the box office. And a lot of people love Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't care what you say. A lot of people love going to the movies and seeing pirates. And I know I do, so we'll see what happens. If Disney does decide to reach out to Johnny Depp and reconcile and, they can come to some kind of agreement and some kind of terms and they can get him back for the franchise, then by all means, let's do it. Throw in a Jason Momoa. Let's have fun, you guys. I would love to see a Jason Momoa in a Pirates of the Caribbean film. That would be absolutely wild and so much fun. And to close out the topic, you guys, the big one. The Hunt for Gollum, you guys. Now, this film is an interesting one. I don't think it's necessarily needed. I don't know how involved Peter Jackson is. I know Andy Serkis is going to be directing this, which I do have my doubts. He directed Venom 2. He directed The Mowgli on Netflix. So far, his directing gigs are 0 for 2 for me. But this is a world he's come from. This is a world he is so familiar with, playing the character of Gollum and Smeagol, you guys. Oozing out a tremendous performance whenever he decides to throw in the motion capture performance. I mean, from that, the original trilogy, you guys, to the Hobbit trilogy, he is so damn good. And apparently, you guys, the writers of this film want Viggo back as Aragon. Apparently, they've talked to him. He's just waiting on the script and how he feels about the script. And rightfully so. Do not tarnish this man's legacy, you guys, with a boo-boo Lord of the Rings film. You can't do that. Now, granted, The Hobbit wasn't the greatest trilogy, but I still enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Rings of Power, watch the first couple episodes. Absolutely not for me. I will never watch that again. But the Lord of the Rings original trilogy, you guys, is cinema at its purest form. At its purest form. And I want them to get back to that. Building sets, having all the orcs in, actual makeup and not full-blown CGI. Let's get back to what made that original trilogy so damn good. And apparently, they will be de-aging him if he does sign on, which is going to be interesting. This is going to be digital because, Viggo's a little bit older now. A little bit. He's a lot older. Man, they started shooting, Lord of the Rings? They were in pre-production for the Lord of the Rings probably in 1998, you guys. So it's been so long. It's been there like 20. Oh, my God. You guys, it's been like 26, 27 years for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That is wild to me. But I would love to see Aragon return. Even Orlando Bloom talked about, he's had discussions with Andy Serkis about returning as Legolas. I'm like, absolutely. If you can get some of the, original cast back, you guys, and you have a good, solid script, and maybe Andy Serkis convinces, Peter Jackson to direct it, then by all means, I am down. But this is a very tricky situation. It has a massive fandom, you guys. Massive, massive fandom. And I just want this film to be wonderful. Because like I said, that original trilogy means so much to me. I go back and rewatch those films all the time, the extended versions, and they are just so damn good. so well made, you guys. There is no flaw to those movies, to me personally. So I'm really hoping that the script is on par, where Viggo's like, yeah, I'm down, let's do this. And then Orlando Bloom signs on, and then, okay, then we got something cooking in the pot, which would be really interesting to me. But who knows, you guys? It's still in the writing phase. I think it's supposed to start production next year, but I doubt that. But we'll see what happens. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about today's topics and today's video about the CW officially ending its DC universe with Superman and Lois. Thoughts and opinions about Viggo potentially returning as Aragon in The Lord of the Rings: A Hunt for Gollum. Post your comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching C-Roll Productions. Peace.